Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest and honestly most surprising reasons really talented people miss out on their dream job. In today's world of AI screened interviews and intense competition, it's not just about what you know, it's all about how you say it. And there's this silent killer that trips up even the sharpest candidates out there. So, why does this happen, right? You've got the skills, you have the experience, the resume is perfect, you can answer every single technical question they throw at you. And yet, you still get that email, thanks, but we've decided to move forward with other candidates. What on earth is the missing piece of the puzzle? And here it is. This is the core of the problem. When you sound stiff, overly formal, like you've just memorized a script, it's a huge red flag. Recruiters, hiring managers, they're not just ticking boxes for skills. They're looking for genuine confidence, for fluency, and for someone who thinks on their feet. Basically, they're listening for someone who sounds decisively human. So how do you sound more human? How do you break out of that textbook trap? Well, the answer lies in mastering a really powerful tool, the phrasal verb. Now, don't let the name scare you. It's just a simple verb combined with a short word like fill in or follow up that creates a totally new meaning. But its effect? It's huge. And this isn't just about sounding fluent. Phrasal verbs are like a secret weapon. They let you compress your intent and show that you're a person of action. It's how you sound authoritative. So we're going to focus on 5 specific phrasal verbs. These are high impact, they're super professional, and they're completely safe to use in any interview. Think of these 5 as your go-to toolkit for sounding confident and totally in command. Ready? Let's break them down. First step is look forward to. This is your go-to phrase for showing positive energy and excitement, either at the end of an answer or at the end of the whole interview. It seems simple, but man, the impact is massive. Now, here's a really important distinction. Saying something like, I am so excited for this job, can sometimes come across as a little needy, a little desperate. But when you say, I look forward to, it sounds professional, it sounds poised, and it shows you're focused on the future. It tells the interviewer, hey, I'm already thinking about how I'm going to contribute. And here is a fantastic way to use it. Imagine closing out an answer with a line like this. It lands with so much confidence. You're not just saying you hope you get the job. You're actually describing what you plan to do when you're in the role. See the difference? Okay, our next tool is fill in. This one is all about showing that you are a practical problem solver. It's how you communicate that you can step up and adapt whenever there's a gap. The real magic of fill-in is how it lets you explain a complicated situation without this long, rambling story. So instead of saying, well, there was a temporary leadership vacuum and I was assigned the duties to ensure project continuity, you can say something way more direct and powerful. It just screams ownership. I mean, look how efficient that is. In one short sentence, you've shown you're a team player. You can handle more responsibility, and you're focused on results. In this case, keeping that release on track. It is a perfect example of showing, not just telling. Next up, let's talk about follow-up. This little phrase is your key to showing that you're disciplined and accountable. It's a small detail that says a ton about your professional habits. Just think about it from the interviewer's perspective for a second. What are they really listening for? They want to be reassured that you don't just talk about doing things, you actually do them. Using follow-up signals that you're the kind of person who closes the loop, who tracks progress, and who makes sure things get done. This is such a boss move to end an interview or even just a specific question. It's proactive, it shows you're organized, and it gives them a concrete next step, turning a simple conversation into an action plan. You're literally demonstrating your value right there on the call. So, what happens when you need to talk about something a little tricky? A potential problem? For that, we use bring up. This is all about strategic tact. It's how you can introduce a risk or a new idea without sounding negative or confrontational. The power of bring up is all in the framing. It lets you position yourself as a proactive, constructive thinker. You're not just a complainer pointing out problems, you're strategically identifying a risk and bringing it up for discussion. It's a real sign of professional maturity. This example is just perfect because it connects your action directly to a positive business result. You didn't just mention a problem. No, you brought up the scalability risk. And look at the result. It saved the team 2 sprints. That's a tangible win. This is how you frame your initiative as a huge asset to the company. And finally, we have the power player of the group, take on. This is the one you use when you want to signal that you are ready for bigger challenges and more responsibility. What makes Take On so incredibly effective is just how concise it is. It packs ambition, capability, and a can-do attitude all into just 2 little words. When an interviewer asks about your career goals, this phrase lets you answer with real strength and clarity. I mean, just listen to that. That is a bold, confident statement. You're not just saying you want more responsibility. You're declaring that you are ready to take on a specific high-level challenge. It communicates a leadership mindset and tells the interviewer that you are aiming for the top. Okay, hold on. Before you run off and start using these, we've got to cover 3 quick but super important rules. First, placement matters. Use these verbs to state a clear outcome, not just to ramble. Second, tone control. You have to pair them with a concrete number or a real example so you don't sound vague. And third, the formality filter. Stick to professional ones, like the 5 we've covered, not the super casual ones you'd use with your friends, okay? All right, let's do a quick practice round. I want you to actually try saying this opening line out loud. Ready? I look forward to discussing how my team scaled adoption by 40%. Feel that? It combines that positive energy with a hard number. That's the sweet spot. Okay, now for handling a tricky situation. Say this one out loud. I filled in for the PM during the sprint and kept stakeholder updates weekly. It's short, it shows you took action, and it proves you're reliable, simple, and powerful. And finally, the closing line. Give this one a try. I'll follow up with the case study and next steps by Friday. This ends the conversation with you in the driver's seat, showing that you're proactive and disciplined. And here's a pro tip. Try recording yourself saying these. You want to hear a natural, confident rhythm in your voice. So as you get ready for that next big interview, the choice is really yours. Are you going to sound like a walking textbook, technically correct, but totally forgettable? Or are you going to sound authoritative, confident, and decisively human? Because the right words, they really do make all the difference.